Hey, coaches and consultants. I hope everyone is having a great Monday so far. I'm so excited to talk to you all today because I get asked so often, and at what point do you quit giving advice for free? Do you quit coaching for free? And do you ask for the sale? And this is a common problem with coaches. They say, I'm tired of tire kickers. I'm tired of people who just want my services for free. I'm tired of people who just want to pick my brain. Have you ever thought any of these things? So I am going to dive in today. Hey, Walter, good to have you on. Manny, Cody, good to have you guys join me. Say hi if you are jumping in, and we are talking about where do you draw the line on giving free coaching or advice. So this is a common problem, and I'm going to talk today about what I call the 3 T's. So first of all, I want you to know you cannot give away too much. Okay, I know this is probably not what you wanted to hear, but you can't give away too much. And I will tell you why. By showing you the 3 T's, I'm going to show you why you cannot give away too much. So first of all, I want to, hey, Memory, good to have you on. I want to talk about the definition of coaching and advice because they're 2 very different things. Okay, so when you are coaching someone, you are in the weeds with them. You are helping them with a process. You're helping them make those shifts and those tweaks and those changes, and you're helping them with any little struggle they come up against, and you're helping them implement the right things along the way to get to a result. Okay, say hi, guys, if you're jumping in. So that's coaching. That's getting into the weeds with people. I think a lot of coaches mistake giving value, getting on Facebook Lives, sharing, maybe doing content creation. They mistake that as people wanting everything for free. Okay, but here's the thing: if people aren't going to invest with you if they don't know that you know what you're doing. And so when you give from your heart, when you give out of your passion, when you give, you come from a place of serving and helping people and giving value, you are going to build your credibility. You're going to build your authority. You're going to get people to know, like, and trust you. And those are not bad things, right? So here's what I want you to think about. Free advice like Facebook Lives or creating content. By the way, I have a free guide. It's a checklist, how to create a high ticket offer people will want. If you want this, you can let me know. I'll give you the link when I'm finished. But, I give stuff like this away. People that are on my email list, I'm always sharing and training and teaching in my emails. And so I'm always coming from a place of giving, right? But at what point do you ask for the sale? Well, here's the deal. I will put up a Facebook post about something I'm running. I'll let people know what I'm doing. I will consistently make offers, but I don't really ask people for the sale because I want them to want to work with me. I want them to be attracted to what I'm doing. I want them to come to me and want more, to want to go deeper, right? And so I don't really ask for the sale. I just put it out there. And if people are interested, they'll come to me and we can talk about it, right? So hold on, let me see who's jumping on here. Maritza, hey, good to have you on. Wendy, good to have you. Sajin, good to have you. Paul, Leon. And so I don't want you to mistake giving value, serving, helping as it's not the same as coaching someone. Okay. If I'm coaching someone, I am helping them implement a process that I know that works, and we're making tweaks and we're making shifts and we're repositioning things and we're testing and we're measuring and we're doing a lot of things along the way. And you cannot give someone that in a Facebook Live. You can give them the 30,000-foot view, but you cannot give them everything they need. Here's a perfect example. I had someone reach out to me a few weeks ago that's in this group, and he was telling me about some things that aren't working in his business. And he said, can you help me? After he shared everything, he said, can you help me? And he said, how much do you charge for an hour? So here's pro tip number 1, do not charge by the hour, okay? So I said, look, I don't sell my services this way. And here's why. I can't give someone a transformation in an hour. Can you? I mean, seriously, can you? There's a lot of moving parts into building a business, even into a marketing plan, even into creating a marketing message or figuring out who your ideal clients are, all those things you hear me talk about over and over again, putting together a high ticket offer. There are a lot of moving parts. People don't know what they don't know, right? But I know. So when I'm chatting with him, I can see the problems, the disconnect, the things that he needed. And I knew I couldn't give him that in an hour. And so what would I have been doing? I would have been taking his money and not giving him the transformation. And so this is the first T, transformation. Can you really give someone a transformation in 1 hour? Can you really give someone a transformation if you're sitting and having a conversation with them? Can you really give someone a transformation if you do a strategy call with them? I do strategy calls with people all the time, and I say, well, you know, this is what I would recommend that you do. I just had one with somebody, Nisha was on a call with me the other day, and you know, we talked about my services and they weren't quite right for her at the time. And I said, well, I always like to give people tips, and you know, I suggest you go and do this and it will really help you, but she still has to go and implement it. And I don't know if it's going to work for her because she is in charge. She's the one implementing it on her own accord with what she knows, right? And so I don't know that there's going to be any kind of a transformation. I don't know if she's going to make $1 from that advice. But when I'm coaching someone, when I'm working with them, right, I know what it takes, and I can help them with all the moving parts, and we're working in the weeds together so they don't get stuck in the mud. Making sense? So this is the first T. If you cannot give someone a transformation in a short time that you're working with them, then you're not really coaching them. And so don't mistake giving value, sharing, giving advice. Don't mistake that for coaching. They're very, very different things. Now, I don't really call myself a coach as much as I am a consultant, because most of the time my clients don't know what to do. And so I'm coming from a place of giving my expertise and my expert advice to them. And so coaching to me is more when you're pulling things from people that they already know. Well, a lot of times in business, people don't know, or they're not sure, right? Marketing, they don't know. That's why they're working with me. And so I want you to just remember that if you're not giving someone a transformation, you're really not coaching them. And if you are working to give them a transformation, that's where your coaching fees come in. So this is where you draw the line. Okay. If you go and watch all of the Facebook Lives and everything that I put out, you're going to get a lot of great information. But at the end of the day, you still have to piece it all together, and you probably don't have the whole process anyway that's going to really get you the results you're looking for. And so this is why people choose to go deeper with you. I can't tell you how many times I've done a program, maybe a 6-week or an 8-week program with someone, and it was so valuable and it was so great. But I wanted more from the person. Like I wanted more than I got in the program. And so then I would become one of their private clients because I wanted more where that came from. And this is what I'm talking about. You can't give too much. You just can't. Okay. So the first T is transformation. You've got to be able to get people a transformation, and that's not going to come from free advice. All right. The second thing is, when people are getting all this free advice, hey, say hi, guys, if you're jumping in, and let me know if this is making sense to you. The second T is there's always going to be a threshold, okay? People don't get rich from learning free stuff. They don't. People get wealthy. People have incredible results because they invest, they learn, they continue to grow, they continue to scale, they continue to work with mentors, and they work with people who can help them reach that next level. You're always going to hit a threshold with what you're getting for free. Again, because you don't have someone in the weeds with you. Okay. And so you're only going to get so far. Well, people who are truly successful, who are really crushing it in their business, they already know this. Okay. Now, if you're a startup coach, you're going to have to learn this on your own. You're going to get some results. I hope you do take what I share with you on these Facebook Lives and you go back and you apply it to your business and you get some results. I hope you do. But I also know it's only going to go so far because I've been there. I've done it, right? Let me see what we have coming in here. Yes, makes lots of sense. Thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. Or Tamara, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Nikki, good to see you. Karthik, good to have you guys on. All right, so there's always going to be a threshold with what someone can do on their own and what someone can do for free with free advice, okay? And I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard this. I heard this years ago, and it has stuck with me. And I think someone even posted it in the group the other day, which made me think of it again. When you pay attention. Okay, and that's the truth. When you pay, when you invest, you're going to get better results because now you're invested. Now you're committed, right? And again, you're going to get the whole process. So you're going to pay attention to that process, right? But when you pay with your money, you are also going to pay with your time because now you are going to be serious and committed to getting the result that you are paying to get. So, transformation threshold. What is the third T? The third T is timing. Okay, so there is a curve. There is a level when someone is starting out where they're here and they're trying to learn, right? And they keep learning and they keep learning and they keep learning and they keep learning, and then eventually, they're going to hit that threshold and they're going to realize, gosh, you know what? If I want to go here, I'm going to have to probably invest in myself. Okay. And it's when they get here that the timing is going to be right. So here's the deal. You have to stay in front of those people because if they're serious, okay, they will go from here with what they learn. It's kind of like a little bit of a hill. And then they're going to hit that place where they're like, you know what I'm doing now isn't working. I want more. Okay, or I've hit that threshold. And this is where now the timing is right. This is where they're now willing to take that next step, go to that next level. Okay, and so if you don't realize these three things, you are going to always feel like you're giving things away for free when really you're not. You've got to understand this concept. You've got to understand that people need to know you. They need to know your brilliance. They need to experience your brilliance. They need to be able to even take some of the things you teach and go apply them to see if it works, right? And is this making sense, you all? Hey, Joe, good to have you on. And so I want you to realize this is why when I, talk to new coaches, I know if they're ready, right? Now, I will tell you, you need to have a qualifying process in place. You hear me say this all the time because coaches get frustrated when they're spending their valuable time where they could be actually working on their business or working with clients or bringing clients in, when they spend their valuable time doing sales calls with people who say, no, I have no money, or no, I have no money to invest, or they're just trying to pick your brain. And so if you're allowing this to happen, it's because you don't have a qualifying process in place. So that's the first thing I want to encourage you. Have a qualifying process in place so you are leveraging your time and you're not spending a ton of time with people who have no intention or no money to invest in your services. So this is really important. But also you want to get people from down here up here to where now they're ready and the timing is right. Okay. And so the way you do that is by giving, it's by sharing, it's by giving value. It's people, the more people learn, the more their mind expands. The more people see other people doing things. For example, you saw me post in here a few days ago, one of my clients signed her first $36,000 client, and she had been struggling for 3 years with other coaches, with other programs, with other mentors, had invested a lot of money, and nobody was getting her launched. And we started working together 2 months ago and we got her launched. Okay. And the reason I'm telling you that is because when other people see that, when other people see the results people are getting, guess what? It lets them know they can do it too. And so it expands their mind. It expands their opportunity and their mindset to realize, gosh, I can do this as well. I can make this happen in my business too. And so you have to meet people where they are. You have to give and give and give and give until the timing is right for them. And when it is, guess what? You want to be the person, hopefully, they'll want to work with. You want to be the person there because you've been there all along and they already know you and they already like you and they already trust you. Is this making sense? Give me some feedback here. Totally got this. Oh, you do like my questionnaire for an appointment. I knew, Wendy, when you filled that out, you would get some of those questions answered. Let me give you an example. I'm actually going to use Wendy since she's on here. So when I do these Facebook Lives, I tell you guys, hey, throw questions in. I'm so happy to answer any questions you have. And so Wendy was on one of the Facebook Lives the other day. I don't even remember. And I talked about qualifying and, asking the right questions. And she said, Ann, what are some questions that I should ask on my qualifying form? And I said, Wendy, here's the deal. It's totally dependent on you. I don't know enough about your business to even really give you advice. I do think you should ask the money question. That's a big one. I do think you should find out how serious they are. And I talked about those things on the Facebook Live. I gave a few things that I use on my questionnaire that, I want to make sure those people are committed, and I want to make sure they're going to have the finances. I want to see where they're at in their business financially and where they want to go. So those are my questions. Those are the things I want to know. But here's the thing. Your business is different. You're different. You might need to know different things than I do. And unless I got into the weeds with you, Wendy, and I coached you and really found out what is it you're trying to accomplish in your business, if I were to give you advice without knowing those things, I would not be serving you because I might be steering you wrong. And this is what happens when you don't get into the weeds with people and you're putting free out there. You're putting free out there. They're only getting a piece. They're only getting a piece. They still have to go and implement it. They still have to go and implement it the right way. And when people ask me for my advice, I can give them a tip, or I can, give them some 30,000-foot view advice, but I can't really get into their personal business and really know what I can help them do until I start working with them. And so this goes back to transformation isn't going to come from somebody being on a Facebook Live. It's not going to come from someone being in a Facebook group and absorbing everything they can absorb. Yes, they may get their business a little bit further than it is. Absolutely, because you learn from a lot of different places, but it's not going to be the same as having a process that helps you get a result. They're very different things. It's kind of like when you buy a course. You have a step-by-step process that's already been proven to work, right? That someone has already validated, and you have to go and implement it. But if you don't have any help with that, you're going to have your interpretation of how to implement that into your business. And this is where the value of a coach comes in, you guys. And so I don't want you to feel like, oh, tire kickers and people just want to pick my brain and, I'm just giving everything away for free, because at the end of the day, they're going to hit that threshold with what they get. Okay, with the results they can get. And here's the deal. If everybody did get a transformation from all the content that's out there and all the free Facebook Lives that are out there and all the groups that are out there, guess what? We wouldn't be in business. Coaches wouldn't even exist. There would be no need for coaching, right? There would be no need for you, no need for your business. The fact is, we know it doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't. And so to think that you are giving that all away is, I want you to shift your mindset, because that isn't correct. It's not correct. Let people see your value. Let people see your brilliance. Let people see you know what you're doing. And now, I will say goes back to, you want to make sure your ideal clients, you want to make sure your audience is the right audience. You've heard me say, if I'm selling hamburgers, I don't want to have a group full of vegans, right? Not going to matter. It doesn't matter how much content I give it away. It doesn't matter how many Facebook Lives I give away. I'm not going to sell those hamburgers to my group of vegans. It's not going to happen. So you do want to make sure that when you're giving and you're coming from a place of service and you're adding value to people, you want to make sure you're doing it to your target audience. I mean, I can't stress that enough. But, we have a lot of new coaches in here, and I've made it really clear new coaches are not my clients typically. But here's the thing. As they move up, as they learn, as they grow, as they implement new things, there's going to come a time when they are making some money and they are going to hit a threshold with what they're getting for free. And they're going to be like, you know what? I need to work with Ann because now the timing's right, right? They've made some money, they're seeing some success, it's helped them in their business, and so now they're ready to ramp things up and take things to another level. So, hey, James Lawson, good to have you in here. Let me see what comments we have coming in. Let's see. I think I'm missing some here. Wendy says, use me, baby. Oh, because I used her as an example. Totally got this. Totally makes sense. Yeah, I always say coaching would not be necessary if books had all the value. Oh, absolutely, right? Listen, there's nothing I'm teaching you that's not out there somewhere. Okay, it's out there somewhere. Here's the deal. You can go search for it all and you can try to put it all together and you can try to put, it's, to me, this is the analogy I like to use with all the stuff that's out there. It's like taking 100,000 piece puzzles, dumping them in the floor and saying, okay, put them together. Does this make sense? It's virtually impossible. It's very difficult. And if it were not difficult, then like I said, coaches wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have businesses. But it is difficult. It is difficult to take a piece from here and a piece from there and a piece from here and a Facebook Live here. And that's why people keep chasing shiny objects, because they haven't found what works, because they're trying to do too many different things and they're not using a proven working process. And that's what your coaching is all about. That's where your coaching comes in. Your coaching is the transformation you can help someone get. It's not your free advice. It's not your tips. It's not your Facebook Lives. Make sense? Let's see. Yes. And here's the other thing, guys. Business is a process. Building a business is a process. It is not quick. It is not easy. There is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of commitment that goes into building a business. And here's one of the things too, when you work with a coach, have you ever had a client, let me just ask this, type me a yes if you've had this. Have you ever had a client that got down, that you kind of had to talk them off the ledge? Ever had that? Type a yes if you've ever had that, right? I have that. I have that with my clients. I have to talk them off a ledge and go, it's going to be okay. Just trust the process. Trust the process, right? But if I were not there, and I wasn't talking them off the ledge, and I wasn't pumping them up, and I wasn't their cheerleader, and I wasn't, their accountability partner, and I wasn't saying, okay, this is the next step, and this is the next step, what would happen? What happens? People give up. They give up, or they're on to the next best thing, and which means they're not getting results. Making sense? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. So what questions do you all have for me on this? Because I know this is just something I just hear over and over again from coaches. Joe says, absolutely. Wendy says, yes, often. Awesome. Awesome. So here's the thing. Joe's a business coach. I'm going to use him as an example, and he works with business owners. And Joe, is it quick to go in and work with a business and help them fix their stuff? Is that fast? Type a yes or a no in there. I work with businesses many times for well beyond a year because we just keep working. And here's the thing, as you grow, guys, your threshold keeps going up too. And you're going to hit it again. And then you have to grow again, and you're going to hit it again, and you have to grow again. And so you can never quit growing, and you're going to have to continue to invest to get to that next level. I do it all the time. I think I mentioned this the other day. I'm always investing in myself. I'm always learning from different people, but I'm not always looking out there for free stuff because I don't have time. I don't have time to try to put all the pieces together. I want to just, if there's something I need in my business, I go find somebody who I know is great at that, and I hire them, and I work with them. And that's how my business continues to move forward. It's not me sitting there trying to figure all the stuff out myself. But I'm getting older too. So, hey, what can I say? I'm a grandma, right? I don't have the years anymore. Yeah, Joe says it's a long process. Absolutely. It's a long process to go in, because here's what I want you guys to understand. It's just like that person from our group that Facebooked me or messaged me on Messenger, and he says, how much do you charge for an hour? And I said, look, I can't help you, in an hour, because he didn't know all the moving parts. He didn't know, right? He doesn't know what he doesn't know. And so I said, I'll take a quick look. And I went and took a quick look at just the little bit he gave me. I mean, I know I didn't see everything, right, in a 2-minute conversation. And I said, look, your message is off. I'm not clear on who your target is. You haven't built your authority to really get in front of the right people. You're trying to run this to a cold audience. I mean, I gave him all these really high level steps. But at the end of the day, he said, well, can you tell me how to fix it? Okay. Well, no, because I'm not working with you. And I can't do that over a Facebook message, because I'm not working with you. There's too many moving parts. And so I couldn't tell him how to fix it. And I said, look, we can make a big dent in it if you want to do this together. And we want to work together for, this many hours. I can certainly help you, fix some things and really make a dent in this. But at the end of the day, I knew an hour wasn't going to be enough. And this is why I'm just so against selling your services by the hour, because I don't think you can give people any kind of results or transformation in an hour. So, hey, Kara Stone, let's see. Joe says, whoops, hold on here. Can't be a top tier athlete after a week of push-ups. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Yes, it's like getting a gym membership and then not doing the work, right? It's not going to happen. And you're absolutely right. It's a process. It has to build. You have to build momentum. And each time, and this is why I'm so big on telling you guys, don't always look for a quick ROI. Okay, if you're always looking for a quick return on your investment, you are missing it. You need to change your mindset, because business isn't that way. If you push it over here, it wiggles over here. Okay, that's just the way it is. If you mess with this one thing, now you've got to probably mess with 3 or 4 other things. For example, if I help you change your offer and create a high ticket program or a high ticket offer, all of a sudden now we've got to change your target audience. And then we've got to change the message to match the target audience. And then guess what? Those people, because it's a higher ticket program, are going to require a different sales process than someone that you're trying to sell something for $197 to. Make sense? So it's not just one little piece. There's a lot of moving parts. I can't stress this enough. And that's why you cannot give people a transformation just by giving advice. It's just not going to happen. Sorry for the typos. I didn't even notice. So I can overlook those because I make them all the time. I have this tendency to type and then hit send, and then I read it after I hit send. Does anybody else do that? And then I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't look too smart there. Here's an issue. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Joe, did I miss? Were you going to tell me something else here? Here's an issue. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Okay. Dylan says business is the team effort. Leverage is the key in order to run the business successfully. Absolutely. Yes. And that's the thing too, when your business gets again to a certain place, to a certain threshold, now you've got an up-leveled set of problems, right? New problems come up, and they're higher level problems. And this is a lot of times why businesses, only get so far, because again, I work with other businesses too. And it's why they only get so far, because now they actually start decline as they get into a higher level in their business. Let's see. I have a client I spent, whoops, hold on, Joe. I'm kind of trying to go back here and take a look at this. I have a client I spent 5 hours a week with. Okay, one sec. Let me scroll down. I really don't like the way Facebook does this anymore. It's hard to read everything. However, we are exceeding the 5 hours most weeks. All right. Well, Joe, I would be the first to tell you, I hope you're charging extra. Because that's free coaching. Okay. If you stick to a commitment, again, that's up to you. I have clients that I give. I'm all about getting my clients results, right? And my clients do pay me really well. So if I give them some extra time, I don't make a big deal about it. I want to get them the results, and they'll all tell you that. And so that's really up to you. But I would say if that continues, to happen time and time again, you probably need to up-level the package you're working with him on. Okay. So that would be my advice, Joe. But again, without really knowing all the details, I don't want to say that's the end all be all advice, because I'm not in the weeds with you. I don't really know. Dylan says, so you're telling me to perform a heart surgery within an hour time frame. I love that. That's perfect. And cheap discount price. Yes, that's exactly You're absolutely right, Dylan. Great analogy there. And that's right, you guys. You can't really, again, perform heart surgery in an hour. And coaching just requires so much more with people. So hold on, let me keep scrolling. Great engagement, guys. I appreciate this. Joe says, me too. Joe says, thanks. Wendy says, my local business clients, yeah, 6 months to a year for sure. Okay, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I am a believer you sell people what they need, okay? It's not going to do someone any good if I sell them something that's not going to help them, like selling an hour. Okay, that's ridiculous. It's not going to help someone. Now, if somebody wanted me to help them put a qualifying form together, I could probably help them do that in an hour. So it would depend on, what we're doing, obviously. But the thing is, there's a lot of moving parts, and that's what you have to remember. And it doesn't matter what kind of business I work with. The same thing is true. There are a lot of moving parts. So you want to hi, Jay, good to have you on. What other questions do you have? So here's the thing. If you are getting on the phone consistently with tire kickers, that's a qualifying problem. You need to probably fix that. But if you have a Facebook group, or you're out there putting out content, or you're going and doing seminars to people, again, try to qualify people as much as you can so you're in front of your target audience. Remember, you cannot sell hamburgers to vegans no matter how hard you try. So you do want to always be speaking to your target audience. You want to be strategic in what you're doing. There has to be some strategy behind it. But don't be afraid to give it away. Don't be afraid to put it out there. Don't be afraid to let people see what you're all about. I was just on a call a few days ago with a coach, and I've known him for a long time, and he's considering, he wants to work with higher paying clients. And so we were discussing that, and I gave him some tips, but at the end of the day, he's still going to have to go back and implement that into his business. And that's the thing. So I always want to give that value, but people have to be ready. They have to be ready to want to do the work. They have to be ready to make the investment. They have to be ready to make the commitment, because I'm not doing it for them, right? I'm not in there building business owners' businesses. I'm not in there, I'm not in there building out all my coaches' stuff. No, they have to do the work. But they can get there a lot faster and a lot more efficient if we are working together and putting a process in place and trusting the process as well. Wendy says, do you have a sales sheet to send folks, or do you offer per situation? Are you talking about like all my prices and stuff, Wendy? Is that what you're talking about? No, I do not have that at all. If that's what you mean, throw a yes or no in there so I know. I think I know the answer. But I want to see what you say. I'm curious. Yeah, so here's the thing. Now, if somebody is talking to me about my program, I think, Wendy, I just sent you something, about my program. It was just a little sheet I made out. But that was on one thing. But no, I do not have sales sheets. I don't have my prices on my website. I don't have any of that, because I want to give people what they need. If I'm responsible to help them get a transformation, if I'm responsible to help them get a result, I've been doing this a long time, so I know what's going to be involved in doing that. And so if I sell them something that isn't going to be what they need, I'm not serving them. And I can't live with myself if I'm not doing that. Does that help, Wendy? Was that the answer you were? Okay, good. Yeah. So so yes, I don't put my prices out there. And, again, it's a little bit different. And I think I used this as an example the other day. If I am working with a $3.5 million business to get them to $5 million, which I do, they're going to have a very different pay scale for my fees than someone who is barely at six figures, trying to maybe get to $200,000 or $250,000. There's going to be some different things, some higher level problems. There might be more time involved in somebody trying to break through to that $5 million range, right? There's going to be more time. So all of those things are considered, and the value and the results I can help them get, that's all considered in my price pricing. And so I don't have a one size fits all. I know what my value is. I know what I'm worth to people and what I can help them do. And I price my services accordingly. So did that help? I hope that helped. All right, guys. So again, a quick recap. If you have any more questions, throw them in. I love the questions. I love the engagement. Don't worry about where you draw the line, because you're not going to be coaching people in the weeds time after time after time. You're not, I'm sure no one's out there doing that for free. Okay. If you are, then you're a charity. And if you want to be that, that's okay. But remember the 3 T's. You can't get them a transformation in a Facebook Live or a Facebook group. Okay. Not going to happen. They're going to get to a point where they hit a threshold with free stuff, and they will have to realize, if I want to get to the next level, I'm going to have to invest. I like working with coaches sometimes that have been trying it for, if I'm going to work with a new coach, let me just say this. I like working with coaches who have been out there really trying for several months and they haven't been able to make it happen, because guess what? The timing, right? They're more ready. And so to know that they've been out there trying it on their own, it hasn't happened and hasn't worked, and they're frustrated. I don't know if Nikki's still on here, but Nikki was one of those people that I worked with, and nothing was happening in her business. And this happens a lot. So, but she had been trying for several months. So she was ready. She was ready to make that investment, and the timing was good. And I happened to be right there in front of her when she decided she was ready to do that. Dylan says, Anne, are you more specialized in helping agency owners and business owners achieve 6 or 7? Yeah. So typically, Dylan, I work more with agency owners or coaches, consultants, experts. I say coaches, consultants, experts who are at least at 5K a month. They're trying to break through that 10K a month barrier and get into multiple 6 figures and even to 7 figures. So those are my ideal clients. Again, if I'm going to work with a startup coach, it depends. I don't target startup coaches, but if someone comes to me because they have a job and they want to get out of corporate America and they really truly want to make this happen and they want to invest and they're ready, again, it just comes down to all that qualifying that I look for when I want to work with someone. If they are not truly committed yet, like one of the questions I ask is, are you on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? And I think I brought this up the other day too. If they don't tell me they're a 9 or 10, I don't even invite them to be a client. I don't even want to work with them until they're ready. The timing isn't right. Okay. Because people have to be ready. Building a business is a process. It is work. It is a commitment. There's nothing easy about it. When someone says, can you guarantee me a result in 8 weeks? I'm perfectly honest about that. Again, it depends on where they are. If they're in a different place in their business and I take a look and I see we can make a shift or two, and I know for a fact they're going to get a return, which is typically with my 5K and up clients, yes, we can get them very, very fast results. And I usually know that just because I've been doing this for a long time. But if I have a new coach who doesn't really have any clients and they haven't done much and they don't have a whole lot in place in their business, I am very upfront. Look, this isn't fast. It's a process. It takes time. And so I cannot guarantee you'll have a return. You will get a return. I always know you're going to get a return. If you do what I help you do, I promise you it's going to come back to you so many times over. But it's a process. So when that happens, I don't know. You've got to put in the work. You've got to put in the effort, and then you will see the return. So hold on here. I think we've got some more questions maybe. Oh, Facebook, I just love the way you do this. Okay, here we go. Dylan says 100%, it's best to help winners win more. Yes, the more committed clients are, the best to work with together. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing about, working with, and nothing against startup coaches, but look, if you haven't been out there, you don't get it yet. You're not going to get it until you get out there and you try it and you see what works and you see what doesn't work and you see that it's hard. You're not going to understand it. I can sit here and tell you all day long, your mindset might not be in the right place, but you're not going to get it until you do it. But people who have been out there, they've tried it, or if you've ever invested, like one of the things I tell my hiring coaches that come in and they want to increase their fees and they want to, you know, get higher paying clients and all of that. One of the reasons I charge what I charge is because I know if they don't invest that money, they're not going to have the mindset that's ready to accept that money from other people. It's just a fact. And so when they go out and they get out of their comfort zone and they invest in what maybe doesn't feel so comfortable to them, I know now they are going to be actually, because there's just this shift. I can't explain it. There is just this shift that, well, you know, I don't have any problem charging this because I will pay it. I invest it. And it's one of the reasons I've invested big and I don't have any problem charging what I charge, but it does help you get past that when you make that commitment and you make that investment. It's very hard to explain. I'm not a mindset coach. Okay. I do get into mindset with my clients. I am consistently having to, you know, keep working them and keep helping them with their mindset and all of that. But I'm not a mindset coach. And so I don't really, I probably should have someone on here that could probably explain that a little bit more. But all I know is when you invest big, now you are going to be, it's just a different level of mindset where you're like, okay, now I don't have any problem asking for this kind of money. But until you do that, you know, if you've only ever invested $197 in your business, you're going to have a hard time asking someone for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more. It's just the way it is. So is that making sense? All right. What other questions? Anything else, guys? I hope this was helpful. Remember, 3 T's. I hope you guys took some notes, but I'll put the video up, and I want you to just give and give and give and come from a place of serving and adding value to people's lives. That's what we're here for. That's what we're in business for. And then that will come back to you. I know it will. As long as you are not selling hamburgers to vegans, it will come back to you. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. And don't worry, drawing the line is not coaching people over and over and over again for free, getting into the weeds with them. That's coaching. So if you're going to draw the line at all, that would be it. Okay. But if they're paying you and you want to give them a little bit of extra time, that's completely up to you. I know for me, I'm all about getting my clients results. That is my priority. And I charge enough that I don't have a problem giving extra time if I need to. And so that's the other piece of it. You know, if you charge enough, you don't have to keep going back and asking for money. Okay, always providing value, much respect, and thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad this was helpful, guys. And listen, I want you to have an amazing, amazing week. And if there's any way I can help you, just reach out to me. I would love to work with you. If you are ready, if the timing's good and you're ready for the transformation and you're tired of the threshold you're on, I would love to help you. So you guys, any other questions, throw them in. I'll be happy to check the feed and answer your questions for you. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. Bye-bye.